If you are a homeschooling mom in business and you are not prioritizing profit, you're putting your freedom at risk. I know. This is a very powerful statement to make. So, this is a problem. A lot of moms build businesses for flexibility, but end up with income that doesn't actually support their life. So, money comes in, and it disappears. It just mirrors what it talks about in the Bible, that riches grow wings and it disappear. Okay. Taxes show up and it's a surprise. And now your business is competing with your family instead of supporting it. Okay. So going back to, if you're a homeschooling mom in business and you're not profiting, you are putting your freedom at risk. Okay. So I'm not deviating from the truth. Here's what the Bible has to say in Luke 16:10. Very short and simple. It says, if you are faithful with the little, then you will be made ruler over much, much more. That is equivalent for us in business as moms, as homeschooling. If we're not faithful with the business that God has given us, then He can't give us much, much more. If you're not faithful to get the profits out of your business, then He cannot increase. This is the reason why you keep making more money and it keeps disappearing, because you don't have the systems in place that helps to extract the profits out of your business on the legitimate side without the IRS chasing you down. Okay? So profit isn't extra. Profit is what gives you options. It gives you options to raise your family in the way that God has called you to raise your family. It is what gives you the option to do certain exercises, to go certain places, to make certain choices for your family as a homeschooling mom. Okay. It allows you to step away from your kids, step away when your kids need you, not step away from your kids, but step away when your kids need you to do things, to go places, to actually pinpoint. So just the other day, my daughter was asking me, she says, Mom, I was born with blue eyes. Why don't I have blue eyes anymore? Why do I have green eyes? And I said, kiddo, you know what? That is a very good question. But I'm not your maker. I am actually your steward. And she's like, but mama, I was in your tummy. So how comes you didn't make me? And so what I did was I had the opportunity to step aside and break that down for her in a teachable moment. Okay. And this was not my moment because I feel like God dropped that in my spirit right then and there. So what I did was I went ahead and I gave her a plain glass of water and I said, hold this. And I had her, like, we have a long kitchen. So I had her halfway in my kitchen and I said to her, hold this glass of water. Okay. And I want you to take it from this point of the kitchen to the other end of the kitchen, because this signifies you. This glass of water is you. The person holding that water is me, your mom. And the time, all the things behind you is my life before you came into my life. Now, God is outside of time and he's not confined to our times. So he's outside of time and he stepped into mom's life and he gave mom you. And he says, steward this child. Raise her up, teach her, groom her, and show her, teach her my word so she can hide it in her heart. When she's older, she won't depart from it. Okay. Now, I was able to do that whole experiment, exploration, whatever you want to call it, because I had my designated time where I could intentionally be there and support my child without having to worry about the systems that I had in place and how those were going to affect my kid or affect tax season when I'm trying to file taxes and stuff and work with my team and work with my clients. I was able to use the skills that God has already taught me, okay, in the Bible. And this is the same thing that I want to do with you. So going back to this, I was able to step away and be with my kids when they need me without everything falling apart. Okay. So when your numbers are clean, your strategy is clear, your tax decisions are intentional, and you stop leaking money. And I talk about this in the profit leak identification system in our money, profit, and presence blueprint program. And I'll drop the link below so you can go ahead and watch the free training Okay. But we talk about this step by step, how to identify those leaks in your business, what's draining your profit, and what to do to patch them. Okay. So you can start building a business that actually works for your life. So if you need more, you don't you, like, I can't tell you how many people are like, I just need to make more money. More money isn't going to fix your problem. More money is not going to fix that tax bill because how many times do we see people that win the lottery, okay, and tomorrow, well, maybe not tomorrow, but 10 days from now, they're dead broke again because the principles were not established. The systems were not established and they weren't trained and equipped. And it's the same thing. God's laws or God's laws. They either make you or they break you. And so what I have come upon and discovered was the system that God has already created, and I'm sharing that with you inside my Profit in Presence blueprint so that you are able to realize that if you're not profitable, you're actually risking your freedom. Okay. So you don't need more money. You don't need more hustle. Okay. You don't need to make more money if you're not being faithful with what God has already given you. Okay. I know that sounds harsh and it sounded harsh to me it sounded harsh to me too when the guy first showed it to me because I'm like, well, I'm doing my best over here. How do you say I don't need more money? And you're supposed to give me more. Okay. It sounded harsh when I first heard it as well. But once I understood God's heart behind this and what the Bible is intentionally making did for us to understand, then it started making sense. And I show you exactly how it breaks down in my Profit and Presence blueprint. So, like I was saying, you don't need more hustle, you need better systems. Okay. So if you're ready to keep more of what you make and create real freedom, your next step is to go to the link below. There's a free training, okay, where we show you how to plug the leaks, and from that you could get into my Profit and Presence blueprint, where you have an amazing team of moms who are building businesses. These are mamas who are homeschooling and building businesses at the same time. We know firsthand what it feels like. We know how we just know that struggle is real and firsthand for us. So comment below if this makes sense to you, if this resonates with you, or go ahead and click on the link below and make sure that you're able to get that free training and go through it and start learning to figure out how you could actually start keeping more of the profits that you have in your business. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.